supposedly this guy, the Russian guy, wrote a $50,000 check to him, which he cashed. And I don't know whether he got the money or not, but he went through a process, and then he was getting the money because he was supposed to give me that money. See, every time he'd be like, oh, I'm getting this money. I think he got the money every time. He just never gave anything over, ever.
My lawyer, Nick, he kept asking me, why did you go see Chuck Labella? And I guess being friends really isn't good enough. You know what I mean? I guess, we're friends, but I wanted to go there and figure out how we could work together. I mean, I was coming off a really good run. I just made 3 movies, all of them theatrical releases, and now I needed a break. My business partner was going on vacation, but I couldn't go on vacation because he was going on vacation. And what do I mean by that? Someone has to be available for when somebody calls. And I felt like if I was going on vacation, I might not come back. I mean, that's how tired I was. So I had just the amount of time to do this. My business partner's going on vacation. My other partner, who is partners with my company, recommends I get down to see Chuck. So that sounds like a good deal to me. And he even gives me the door code when I get there. So I show up, I know the door code, and I go in, Patrick Thompson's waiting for me. I had already met Patrick Thompson over the phone a couple of times because he is Chuck Labella's assistant, trusted advisor, and Chuck has referred him to me. When I show up, I'm seeing Patrick face to face. Now he works for Chuck. He's telling me he's Chuck's chief of staff. Him and Chuck have been friends, they're buddies, Well, then he brings me into a conference room where Chuck is, and I sit down with Chuck. And I'm happy to see Chuck. Chuck's happy to see me. He's telling me this is my office, this place, it's great. I have everything going on for me. And what do you want to do? We have plenty of money here. But you know what I really want to do? I really want to start a horror division. Now, Chuck knows that I had a slate of horror films years before. He knew that I understood that market. And he said to me that he had a business partner named Chris and Bill Maher, and he was interested in doing this. Maybe I could help him with that. So Chuck did not offer me any money. No, he said there's plenty of money, but he didn't offer me any money. Patrick later asked me what I would want a month. And then he said $10,000. No, he said, what do you get? He says, I get $10,000 a month from them, but I also get money from other places. And I was like, well, that wouldn't be enough money for me. I said, maybe $15,000, but I don't know. I go, but what I could do is instead of taking a salary or a monthly stipend, why don't we create a horror division? So Chuck knew that he wanted 3 podcast ideas, and then I was like, okay, let me come up with a horror idea, okay? But what I understood most was you don't option screenplays. If you can write a movie and you have an idea of what that is, you're better off creating something, and then that's how you do it. So I laid that idea out, and I had gone back into the studio. Chuck was not there that day, but there was a young writer, creator there, director. And he was, at the time when I went in, the conference room, I had been working in the conference room, and that day when I had gone in, that person was sitting there. So Patrick said to me, instead of working in the conference room, why don't you get down to Chuck's office? And he brings me down, he goes, why don't you set up here? And so I sat down, and I, of course, went right to work. And about 10 minutes later, he came down and he goes, hey, Jimmy, would you mind, I just talked to Chuck. There's a young writer in there, there's a guy we're probably gonna be working with, but we don't know if he's any good. Would you mind taking a meeting with him? So when I walk in to that room, I'm under the understanding that they have lots of money, they wanna do a horror division, This dude is talented. They want to know what he can do. Well, him and I bonded right away. And I'm thinking, well, if we can create a piece of property, and if it's a good script, and if Chuck, being the ultimate casting director, can cast this movie, then we could make a picture. So we talk about it, and he bangs out like a really quick first draft. He gets it to me. I read it. I get him on the phone. We talk about it. I mean, it's fucking good. I talk to Patrick about it. I pitch like what we did. He thinks that's great. We write this movie, but Zane does the craziest thing, right? He writes these like FBI agents into it and has like this like story, right? Now I have my story, which I'm making up. Now he's making up his side, right? So we're making up this story. Now the story that we come up with is so fucking crazy because the movie is about a guy who works in New York City, okay? And he lives right by the Midtown Tunnel. He's lived there for years. The movie opens with a realtor, and he's in the country somewhere, and they've just put the for sale sign up, and he gets the call, and we find out that the house is sold. But he's got to quickly do some work on it because what the audience has an idea of is something bad has happened in this house. So now we follow the family as they're going through the country, and obviously the work has been done in the house as they come up to the house and they get there, right? So you would think that what I'm about to tell you could be made up. You would think that, like, I don't know how it is that what I'm about to tell you was written down in a screenplay. I'm gonna give it to you as simply as I can. I'm there because I'm trying to figure out how I can work with him as well. My agenda is I'd love to get my TV series to Bill Maher to see if he wants to do it. His brand is all about why I'm bringing it there. Chuck needs something. He wants to do a horror division. I'm sitting with a young filmmaker. He's interested in that. He and I get together. I pitch a story, he likes it, he pitches back his ideas, I like it, we write it down, we get the script written, and now I give it to Patrick, and this is what Patrick's reading. Patrick is reading a story about a guy in New York City who has stolen an idea from another guy, and he's taken that idea and he's made a whole shitload of money on it, and now he's gone and he's trying to hide and stay away from the cops so the statute of limitation runs out, he can come out of hiding. But what he's trying to do with his family is pretend he's doing everything for them when he's really hiding out. And now what happens is he moves to get away to run from his problem, but he moves into a house now that is haunted, okay? And when he goes into that house, we don't know anything about that he had done any of these things. So he moves into the house. The house is haunted. And the FBI are out in front of his house and they're listening in. And we, as the audience, are now finding out that this guy, Chuck, who's the lead character in the movie that we wrote, has ripped people off, has been taking money from them and taking advantage of people and moving from place to place. And he just keeps taking advantage of people. That's the movie that we wrote. And the guy who's the realtor, who's in charge of like fixing this house after this murder, is like Chuck, who brings this guy in. So, you know, it's very difficult. It's very difficult for me to sit here and be like, whoa, Patrick, how did you not know that I wasn't gonna come after you? I fucking told you.